everybody, and welcome back to Yukikaze Gaming. And I'm already having technical issues. Okay. I could have sworn this was working. And I set it up before we started here. Something to fix. There we go. Alright. Welcome to a game about digging a hole. This was a relatively viral game recently, and I wanted to give it a shot on stream. I have seen some clips from this game, so I'm not going in completely blind, but this is my first time playing it. House for sale, only $10. Yeah, I know that's just the European notation, but it's funnier that way. Even for $10K, that's incredible pricing for a house these days. Explodes when battery gets empty? Oh no. This digging implement will self-destruct. I don't think you're actually required to start on the X. I think it's more of a suggestion, but nonetheless. Oh, I see. The little spade has a built-in like battery system. So it's not just the detector.
Tilda, I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Tilda, also hi Yuki.
Diggy diggy hole. Alright, 3 stones sold for $3. That honestly feels like pretty good money for just random rocks I dug out of the ground. It is rather suspicious that I have a health bar. Okay, so these are upgrades I can get. I assumed would be at the PC, but I guess not. Oh, cool. Now, that should be worth more than a regular rock, for sure.
I played this game and it is indeed about digging a hole.
Can confirm, hole digging is a core aspect of gameplay.
Also, there is fall damage.
Yeah, that would track. Okay, that crate's not really anything. Double upgrade seems pretty prudent. Although now I'm low on funds. It would be awful if I wasn't able to recharge my battery. I think I'm getting too far away now.
Does Kiro stream? If so, where?
Hero hasn't really streamed much for quite a while, as far as I know. She's been kind of on an extended hiatus. She just got her PC working again, so I don't know if maybe she'll be doing some streaming in the near future. If not, she'll probably still be joining, like, collabs with, some of the other tubers that we hang with. But, we'll see. Not exactly sure what her plans are.
I see.
He's, as far as I know, she's been kind of stuck in that, like, pre-debut status. And I'm not sure that she's ever actually, like, fully set up a channel and stuff. But double check. Maybe I do have, like, an account for her. Or that I do. Okay. It was worth a check. Just to be safe. Might have to lower the mouse sensitivity a little bit. Battery size upgrade, also pretty helpful. I wonder if that'll make it cost more to recharge, too, though. Okay, still kinda sensitive, but not, like, super ultra sensitive like it was before. Oh, iron. It is a little bit weird that they decided to not have these be, like, materials you could use for crafting upgrades, and instead had them be purely, like, sell loot. It... Oh. Oh no! Inventory full. It makes this less of a, like, crafting game and more of, like, a, cookie clicker kind of genre.
Certainly feels like it.
And also, hi Vert, thank you for joining. I don't think I said that yet. Good to see you.
I don't know whether you said that, but hope you had a wonderful day.
Aw, thank you. You too. The computer. All this stuff. Charge the energy. Buy the jetpack upgrade.
My day is only just starting. 6:30 a.m.
Well, I hope it proves to be a good one. That is fair. You did mention previously you are on a very vastly different, time zone than I am.
Time zones be time zoning.
They sure do. Oh no. Don't want to accidentally jetpack too much and blow up my stuff. Guess it would be prudent to save every so often, huh? Just in case I do mess up and forget to recharge.
I am playing good old Magic Iron.
Oh, very nice. Are you doing MTG Arena, or, like, playing in actual physical cards?
Untap.in.
Ah, okay. Haven't played on that platform before. Okay, so it does tell you that. Fair enough.
I am playing its all lands commander deck list.
Nice. Did you know that I actually have an Architect account where you can see my Magic decks?
No, I didn't. Link.
Sure, just a second.
I have a Moxfield 1.
There's my profile page.
https://archivekt.com/u/yukikazegaming.
And this one's for the list of decks, but I'm not sure if this link works if you're not me.
https://archivekt.com/folders/558588.
Pretty much for commander decks I build to play with my local friends or at the local game store.
I can see decks via folder link.
Excellent. Inventory full already? No! You didn't want to accidentally destroy an ore. Hmm. Seem to have done a poor job of keeping a good ramp for myself. Or staircase.
Finished looking through most of the decks. Looks cool.
Thanks. Sounds like you enjoyed. I'm glad. of them are still works in progress as well, of course. I keep having this feeling like I'm supposed to be saving certain things, and then have to remind myself, no, everything is just sold in this game.
I am currently refining Merkle deck list I built not too long ago.
Oh. Oh, cool. So that would have to be from the Forgotten Realms expansion, presumably.
It is indeed from Baldur's Gate.
Excellent. My D&D knowledge has paid off there. I couldn't remember what, like, actual set he was from in MTG, but logically.
Baldur's Gate is an MTG set.
Yeah. And I think, Adventures in Forgotten Realms was a separate MTG set.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it had the AFR tag, if I remember right. I found a thing? Thanks? Yes, I have indeed found the bottom of the garden bed over there. Okay. Interesting, you can create floating islands. Good to know.
The Colossal Dreadmore is doing some heavy lifting for my opponent.
Oh. Well, it is a pretty strong creature. I'm absolutely trashing this yard.
Diggy diggy hole.
Dingy dingy hole, dingy dingy hole. Oh, this game's a real wrist destroyer, isn't it? The constant clicking. Like Diablo?
Are you fine with me continuing to yap about MTG? Or is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
I always welcome yapping about MTG. Probably one of my big weaknesses as a streamer is I don't have a lot of conversation topics or conversational capabilities. Really bad at keeping conversations going. And I do tend to get locked in on what I'm doing in the game and forget to talk if nobody's talking to me.
How do you feel about poison counters in EDH and Eminence ability?
Ah, poison counters. Well, the thing
I
about
got you.
poison counters
I will yap.
is they tend to make everybody else extremely salty. I think they're a perfectly valid way to win a game because that is a win condition in MTG. I can understand how they feel a little imbalanced in a game where life totals have been increased to try to slow down early kills. So, you know, there's an argument to be made that maybe in Commander, it should be set so that it requires like 20 poison counters instead or something. And I definitely understand that argument, but at the same time, one of the things that makes poison counters usually really scary is you're usually playing one-on-one against the opponent. So there is a certain amount of counterbalancing there that happens from the poison player being viewed as a major threat and kind of ganged up on in a lot of circumstances. As far as I know,
Are you aware of the card known as FYNN, the Fanbearer?
I am, yes, and also his, alternate printing, that is, the Dread Pirate Roberts from Princess Bride. Oh, hang on. There's a bot in the stream. Time to do the banning. Alright, there we go.
Take him out the back asterisk bam asterisk.
For sure. Yeah, so Finn the Fangbearer, definitely sees play in a couple of my decks, too. I sometimes combo him with, Bow of Nylea to give all my attacking creatures Death Touch. Let's see, what was the other question? Eminence. Yeah, Eminence definitely feels a little bit OP sometimes, but on the other hand, like, the Eminence commanders were very specifically created to be commanders. So, like, there was obviously some thought put into that. Now, that's not to say that, you know, every design is perfect, because, like, we saw what happened with Companion, for instance, and how they ended up having to kind of nerf that. Well, not kind of, but severely nerf that. So, you know, there's definitely room for error in the design process, but, like, I don't think Eminence is necessarily a bad thing. I think it's, on its own, kind of cool. But it's really a matter of how well they've balanced the individual card. Now, that said, I do try to use those kinds of things sparingly, and
I think that all Eminence cards are too strong, maybe except Allura AMD the cat guy, but even that is a stretch IMO.
yeah, I can't say I've actually played with any of them except for the cat guy. Arabo, yeah. I'm guessing Oloro is a different Eminence commander, but Arabo is the cat guy. And, like, yeah, it was strong,
Allura, the ageless ascetic.
Ah, I see. But, like, it wasn't, like, super overpowering. At least not on Arabo. So, I don't know. I can't really comment too much on the other Eminence commanders since I haven't played them. And I've never actually seen any of the other ones be
He doesn't
played.
have Eminence, technically.
Ah, I see. Just like a pseudo-Eminence or a proto-Eminence kind of ability.
Edgar.
Edgar? Oh, Markov? No, I've never actually played against him. Or with him. I started designing a deck around him, but, like, never got off the ground. Or is that a different Edgar that you're talking about? I think, from my perspective, though, like, you know, when, like, a lot of these abilities can be very powerful, and they can...
No, you were correct, it's about Markov.
Oh, okay. They can really push your decks into, like, the higher tier territory, in terms of, like, deck power level, and, like, the type of deck that it's really designed to play against. But most of these things aren't really, as far as I know, and, like, I'm not an expert here because I don't actually play, like, CEDH, but I don't think you actually encounter a lot of Eminence or, full inventory. A lot of eminence or poison counters in CEDH. It seems to be pretty much dominated by, like, really, really painful control stuff. Like, not even control, but, like, denial. Preventing your opponents from being able to do or play anything.
That is true. Cause the most mana you are willing to pay is 3, maybe 4 per spell.
Yeah, because anything after that, you're probably not getting the spell off. Either your mana's locked down, or someone's countering it, or whatever.
Or you are green, colorless, ramping out of your mind.
Yeah. But I feel like you don't see a lot of green in... Oops. A lot of green in CEDH in general. At least not in terms of, like, stompy ramping style. But I could be wrong about that. Could also be one of those things that's kind of, like, cyclical. And, like, you know, flavor of the month. But for the most part, it seems to really be dominated by, like, disruption that just bogs the game down and prevents anybody from doing anything.
Yep, you see Thrasios in green, cause it's just infinite combo enabler.
Yeah, for, like, infinite combos and stuff, that would make sense. Yeah, I guess, that's another thing you do see a lot of in, like, those kind of competitive formats is... especially, like, 2-card infinite combos. And tutors. Tutors everywhere. Oops. At least it was only a rock. But, you know, a lot of that stuff's true of, like, any competitive Magic format. The difference with CDH is, like, just kind of, like, the scale and scope of the decks. So, like, you can't really do the kind of consistent aggro strategies that you see pop up in some of the other, like, legacy formats a lot. Like, Zoo doesn't really work as well. Especially if it's multiplayer.
You kinda can W Cranko.
Yeah, I would say that's more of like a swarm than an aggro. But yeah, I mean, Cranko's always gonna Cranko. I didn't know he was CEDH viable, though. But then again, I admittedly do not know that much about the meta. Wait, what? You haven't saved the game for 30 minutes. Oh, thank you for the warning. I do tend to forget to interact with the book here.
Krenko is viable like tier 2 to tier 3.
Ah, I see. Well, he's relatively up there, then. I mean, they're always giving new support to goblins, too, so I guess that makes a certain amount of sense. Goblins have been kind of evergreen in Magic.
Asterisk Evid.
Ever read? Yeah, goblins and red burn decks have always had a place in practically every meta. Although burn is also one of those strategies that's really hard to do in, like, a CEDH style format, especially if you have, again, if it's, like, actually multiplayer, not one-on-one.
Isnifnizit. Param Comboa. Burn deck.
I would say it's more of a combo deck than a burn deck. Because, like, at that point, you're trying to more generate, like, infinite mana and then dump it into something that will, or infinite actions, either way, and dump it into something that will, you know, be immediately fatal. Whereas, like, red deck wins is traditionally more of, like, bolt them to death.
Most CEDH are either combo or staxing opponents into oblivion.
Yeah. And the combo decks are usually staxing until they can combo. At least from what I've seen. Oh, copper.
They are not staxing, they are just counters Densites say. Cause for your breach combo you need to resolve 2 spells.
I see, I see.
Same with Thoracle.
Oh, Thassa's Oracle?
Yes.
Greens. sounds like you definitely have a little more experience with CEDH than I do, for sure. Whoops. Gonna start needing those lamps soon. This rate. But yeah, at the end of the day, like, you know, especially if you play with a group that you play with on a regular basis, whatever's making the table too salty, you should probably stray away from. Especially, you know, don't use it on a regular basis. Because if you play stuff that nobody around you wants to play against, you're gonna find yourself very quickly not having anybody to play with. And that is sort of one of the golden rules of Magic. Even in MTG Arena, sometimes if you play a deck that people just really hate, they'll just, like, auto-quit.
Player. I am most of the time arch enemy, but it's still fun.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, Eldrazi can get real nasty real fast. And it's fine to be the archenemy, like, that's not necessarily inherently a bad thing. But, like, there's levels to that. Like, if you're woefully outside the power level of the rest of the group to the point where they can't counterbalance it, even by making you the archenemy, then you've probably overtuned your deck for the group. I kind of had to retire my primary Sisay deck for that reason. It just was too powerful for my play group after I tuned it. You know, I kept, like, getting beaten on, so I kept making it stronger, and then before I knew it, it was, like, unbeatable. At least within my play group. Especially once I remembered the combo the deck had. Not like an infinite combo sense of combo,
I am more like a time bomb, cause up to turn 7 to 8 I am playing land pass, but then I am randomly spewing out titans.
Yeah, that tracks. That's definitely the Eldrazi MO. Well, I mean, unless you, play with some of the, like, smaller Eldrazi that make the drones and stuff to help ramp you.
What's MO?
Modus operandi. It's a term used in, like, crime shows and stuff like that to describe the, behavioral pattern that is typical of a person. Or thing thereof. literally
Understood.
the mode in which you operate. You got little floating specks of dirt.
At least there are no little invisible flying specks of dirt inside XD.
Well, I suppose if they're invisible, they're never in sight, right?
Hence XD.
Yeah? I guess this game sort of appeals to that, like, little kid urge to try to dig a hole through the center of the earth. Did I find a little pocket down here? An old septic tank or something? Interesting. We dug tunnel. I took falling damage for the first time. Whoops!
Real life awaits. GLHF.
Okay. Have a good day. Thank you for dropping by. Oh, silver. Weird ribs in this tunnel definitely make it feel like it was burrowed through by some kind of sandworm-like creature, rather than a natural formation. Oh! Yeah, those are actually some massive chunks of silver. They'd probably sell for a lot more than 20 bucks. More shovel! This is my first giant rock I have to destroy with dynamite? Oh. Not as planned. A little up and down indicator for me. That's handy. because all start to blur together after a while when you're underground, without any sense of gravity. Well, that sure did destroy that rock. I'm not sure I actually needed to, but at least now we know how it's done. Aching. Oops. Maybe this thing isn't telling me which way is up. Maybe this is some kind of, like, detector for special stuff? It did say the kit came with some kind of, like, metal detector or something.
How goes the wonderful hole digging?
Well, not too bad. We're down over 20 meters now. Seems like progress to me. Oh, inventory full. Time to go back to the surface. You can see I've completely annihilated my backyard here. How you doing, Luis? You're having a good day?
I'm doing good.
Great to hear. Oops. Apparently I'm not doing so good. I've sustained injury. Trying to be sure to leave, like, a viable path for myself to get back out without having to rely entirely on the jetpack. Since you could hypothetically get stranded if you rely on the jetpack too much.
So is this just digging a hole to get ores for money?
Pretty much. Technically the plotline is that there's supposed to be, like, you bought this house, and there's supposed to be a treasure chest full of gold coins buried in the yard somewhere. And you are on a mission to find it.
Does the game just end when you do?
I don't know. This is my first time playing it. I have seen some clips, but, I have not played it myself previously. It looks like I may have uncovered an old mine shaft or something. I might be making these ramps a little too steep on myself.
Don't break your ankles.
I know, right? Okay. Sign says go this way. Let me dig my way out of this hole first. Sorry, had to sneeze.
Sneezing inside a hole sounds dangerous, lol.
I think a lot of things seem really dangerous inside a hole. For instance, digging. And using dynamite.
Digging a hole in a hole.
I feel like the deeper you dig the hole, the riskier the hole gets. Alright, we've got something resembling a functional ramp again. Ow. Guess I can't dig through wood. Alright. Literally a loot crate. I am shovel? Oh dear. Reminds me of I am weasel! Oh, the drill makes a much nicer, even surface
I was
to walk
thinking
through.
of I am bread LOL.
I am bread? Oh, okay, yeah.
Haven't thought of that game in ages.
I never played it myself, but I did see it streamed, or recorded at least. It's the one I'm thinking of. There is a non-zero chance in this day and age that it is in fact a different bread game. Oh, I found gold. Ow. I thought I found a passage here, but it turned out to just be a rock.
Surprised you haven't found dinosaur bones.
Fair point. But those are usually encased in rock, which I am not able to dig through. Oh no, or destroyed. Oh no! I'm betting there's an invisible barrier, but I'm suddenly curious if I can just, like, rocket over the fence and escape out into the neighborhood. Look at all these other yards I could be digging up. Or if it's easier or harder to make a ramp with the drill. Recharge. More battery. Ow. Force is the drill that will pierce the heavens. Oh right, I found a bunch of dynamite. I forgot about that. I was like, why do I have so much? I don't remember buying that much dynamite. What? Fire in the hole. I missed. Pretty sure I can
Does
kill
blowing up
myself
the
with the
chest
dynamite if
trigger
I'm
the
not,
bad ending?
I don't know. Feels like it could. Although, I'm not sure the dynamite really works on anything except rocks. And presumably me. I'm fairly certain I will take massive damage if I do stand in the dynamite blast. Probably die. Seems like a thing that would happen. But I have not tested this. Maybe when I save, I'll blow myself up just to test it. Oh. Seem to be getting kind of blocked every which way. Although, this does appear to be an entrance to a new cavern of some sort. Once again, trying to literally dig my way out of this hole. Or 50, not bad. Alright, time to try blowing myself up with dynamite. Oh yeah, that hurts. Okay, good to know. Not immediately fatal, though. Also important to know. Let's see. Oh no, I destroyed the silver. Oh, being stuck on everything. seems problematic. I want to dynamite that. I'm betting touching it hurts me, too. Well, that wasn't exactly what I thought was gonna happen, but it did reveal the mineshaft thing to me. Hey, stop. Alright. Again, not bad. Oh, platinum.
Minecraft now.
I've never actually played Minecraft. I'm sure it would be a popular thing. Like, it always draws in audiences, I think.
Lagos.
that definitely does damage you. Okay. Alright. Fully upgraded. Well, the quote-unquote shovel is, at least.
That treasure is down there somewhere.
Well, I've started finding platinum, on top of gold and silver, so, you know, for a backyard, it's already quite profitable. Like, my house, even if I never managed to find the treasure chest, is already a literal
Or
gold
maybe
mine.
the real treasure was the friends we made along the way.
For sure. Thank you for joining me on this journey, Luis. Although aside from the metaphorical sense, I am, in the game lore,
Should've wore a
technically
pirate
alone in this
outfit.
tunnel. Arr, avast! Oh, diamonds!
Snapbeard the pirate.
Oh no! Okay, no more Hurdy Rock of Death. Never mind, I've uncovered another one. I'd hope to get 2 for 1, but oh well. And some serious profit, frankly.
I feel like you should update the Streamlabs thing.
Why, what's it saying? Like, what's out of date? What have I done wrong? Playing the wrong game or something?
Well, your Twitter for 1 LOL.
Oh. I see what you're saying, what the bot is saying. Yeah, TikTok's not really relevant anymore either. That's a good point. I still have a whole list of things like that I need to update. Still have, like, a bunch of banners I need to fix and stuff, too.
So much work for why Snappy.
Yeah? There's a never-ending list of improvements to me. But that's part of the fun and challenge as well. stuff is everywhere. I can see. Object detected. Oh! Briefcase full of money. And for some reason, lamps.
Who the heck would bury a briefcase?
The mob? I don't know. am I? Good thing I have basically unlimited money at this point, because there's tons of these lava rocks now. I had a feeling that would happen. Oh, that'll do. From a game design perspective, these stationary lights were an interesting choice, because they could have just given the player a flashlight, but these help create like a breadcrumb trail, for you to backtrack with organically, to help you not lose your way inside the tunnel that you're digging. And the jetpack giving you gravity also helps you have a sense of up and down. Wow, over 6,000.
I'm alive. Hi.
Welcome. Always good to hear that you are alive and actually not dying. We have already dug ourselves quite the hole here. Since the start of the stream, we managed to get all of the
Most
upgrades
importantly,
already.
Fed, I suck at cooking, but it did good, so yay.
Yes, no dying, no starving.
Learning to cook fish.
Oh. Cook the fish. Like, at this point, finding the treasure is kind of pointless, because, like, I'm already making so much more money than I should ever need off of all these diamonds and pieces of platinum. I've forgotten the way out. That's not a light, that's lava. Okay, that's what's throwing me off. Ah, the light of day. Let's see how much ridiculous cash we've gotten off this. Yeah? The power fantasy of this game is clearly, like, being able to buy a house for only $10,000 and then profit off of it massively. Interesting. What have I uncovered here? What? I didn't know that was a thing that could happen. Do these just not work below a certain depth or something? I have too many of them? What's going on? Huh. Cat? I found a creature. I found a creature in the tunnel. Seems bad. Can't use dynamite here. Feels like not a place I should be. Oh, giant death mole thing. ROUSs! Thanks, I hate it. going for it, chat. I don't know where this tunnel goes, but we're going. I don't think they can fit in the small tunnels. Although they seem like they're later. Oh, this is nerve-wracking. You got eaten by a mole? Okay. Well, apparently you respawn, so there's that. It suddenly became a stealth horror game. Waiting? Also, good to know the moles are, like, faster than I am. I guess there's a limit to how far they chase you. Stop camping the doorway, you jerk. Treasure chest? This feels like a trap. Treasure! I found the treasure! Achievement unlocked. It's empty. Oh, it is a trap? Hi, hubris! Maybe it was the moles that put up that flyer to begin with. Ah! It was all a plot by the moles all along. Nice. Alright, chat. Well, that was a game about digging a hole. We played it from start to finish. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I think I definitely need to call it a night here. Let me see if I can find somebody for us to read. Alright, we are going to raid... Sharks VR, who I don't know, but they have a cute furry tigress avatar. And it's apparently their birthday, and they are playing Pow World. Apparently I'm unable to read them. Okay. Well, they might have that disabled. Sometimes people don't want to be raided. Alright, in that case, we will raid Sparrow of Cups. As I recall, as a friend of Agent Q's? I'm not really sure. Can't remember, how we ran into each other. They're playing I'm Shooting the Dog, apparently? Huh. Oh no, they're playing The Long Drive. Okay. I don't know what I'm Shooting the Dog means. I think that's the name of their stream. Alright, night-night everybody. Matini, thank you so much for joining me on this weird little backyard digging adventure.